Preview.
I'm joined by Treaty United Women's Manager Niall Connolly. How are you doing, Niall?
Hi Joe, how are you? I'm good, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be on with you.
Good stuff, good stuff. We'll get straight into it. So, with 9 league games played, how have you assessed the season so far?
After the first 9 games, it's been probably a learning curve would probably be the big word. The first 6 games in particular, look, results weren't ideal or the scorelines weren't pleasant in a few of them. But look, we as a group of players and staff were very much of the ethos: we win or we learn. So we had to accept a lot of learning in the first 6 games, but we were fortunate with the Cork City game that we had a 2-week break, so we were able to refine what we've been doing. We started to work on a new structure within our game model, and look, we've been, and then the next out of the next 3 games, we've got 2 wins. So yeah, we've been learning, but we're starting to put in a few good results now.
Good stuff, good stuff. And with it being your first big job in senior management, what are the main differences you felt from maybe last season to this season? What have been the main differences, and how's the reception been?
The main difference is really, I think, as a group of players, is that that you have to be really specific in what you want to do, and that at the highest level, if you make a mistake, especially like I said, at women's national league level, you're going to get punished. I'm always the first to reflect on myself before looking at others, and maybe there was a bit of naivety in probably how I was looking to approach the season in terms of implement new style of play straight away, instead of recognizing the skill sets of the players at that moment and developing what we want to do over a period of time instead of implementing it straight away. But credit to the players, they've been very receptive to what we've wanted to do. They've been putting in the hard work. And then when we look to change the structure but maintain the principles, they were very open and accepting of the idea. And if it wasn't for the players' attitude towards that, I don't think we'd have the results we've had over the last few games.
Yeah, good to hear, good to hear. So you recently had the 5 senior players named in Dave Connell's Ireland under-19 squad, and Jenna Slattery even went on to score. Has that been a source of pride for you, so for all your work over the few months?
Yeah, look, it's been rewarding as not just myself, but obviously the coaching staff. But look, we're only one of many coaching staff members that those players will go through. Look, obviously the staff that was with them at a young age with their local clubs, then when they were involved with interleagues and the FEI Centre of Excellence, so we played our part, but it's only been a small part. But obviously we are very proud as a football club. But even for their families as well, it's brilliant. And yeah, look, even for Jenna Slattery to score was brilliant. But out of the 5 goals Ireland scored over the 2 games, 3 of the goals had Treaty United involvement. Aoife Horgan got 2 assists in the first game, and Jenna Slattery obviously got the penalty in the second game. And as well, we had 5 players represented, as you said, Joe, and that was the most of any club. Which again, look, is something I think the club and the family should be very proud of.
Yeah, good stuff. So you mentioned there that you wanted to create a new style of play, an attractive style of play, and a new identity for the Treaty side as a whole. And you mentioned there that you maybe went into it a bit naively. What would you do differently if you got to go back to the start of the season now?
Yeah, well, I suppose hindsight's a great thing. To be honest with you, reflecting on it, I probably wouldn't change anything, just in terms of I think over the last month in particular, to 4 to 6 weeks, I've become a lot better of a coach because of the process we had to go through after the 6 games. But look, just in terms of your question, probably would have just implemented things more slowly and gradually, instead of probably implementing a lot of stuff straight away. But again, look, the players, what they wanted to learn it. We very much believe in them executing that over the long term. But yeah, look, I probably should implement things probably a little bit more slowly. But look, like I said, I'm very grateful that I did go through the process I did go through, because, like I said, I believe I'm a far better coach over the last month to 6 weeks.
Yeah, good stuff. So if you say you've improved as a coach, what exactly do you mean by that? Did you mean just as in developing the players better, or you're just learning more stuff yourself as well, I suppose?
Yeah, no, I think is a big thing I've learned from it. Actually, it was when I was listening to an interview with Pep Guardiola. He spoke about being at the mercy of the players, like, you know, that you can do all the work you want, but in the end, it's down to the players. And I think that echoed with me more so over the last 6 weeks. Because again, like, the players have been technically very good. But again, it was probably an environment we were looking to create on the pitch that, you know, in some ways we were probably, you know, letting the players enter a game probably where, you know, we were probably even a bit exposed more than we should have. So I think over, like I said, during the last while, I've probably, my game management or game awareness of how to approach games has definitely been more in sync. You know, how we prepare for games, and probably being a bit more specific with a bit more visual aspects as well, that relate to the opposition's game, instead of using just kind of coaching software from within the FAI. But I just think is recognising the strengths of the players and how to maximise their performance levels, while maintaining our principles of play, I think has been the biggest learning curve for myself.
Good stuff. So you say there that you took a bit of a different approach over the last few games. Did the players buy into that as well, or was it just you looking at the opponents, your own team, obviously?
Yeah, I know. Look, it was a collective. Like, I actually remember I had the first training session we had after the Shelburne game. My coaching colleague John Paul and I, like, we just had a chat, and we were speaking about Cork and we were breaking them down, and then the 1-4-4-2 diamond came up in conversation. But it was more about how, you know, we felt that it would maximise the performance levels of the players and have more attacking players on the pitch while being more defensively solid, and it just stemmed from there. And then, you know, we had the conversation with the players, but we very much made them aware that, look, just because we're changing our formation, that we still very much believe in every single one of you. But look, you know, results don't lie either, Joe. Like, you know, we only had one draw in 6, lost the other 5. And credit to the players and the maturity levels, they understood it, they accepted it, and they worked on it just as much as we did. A lot more asking questions, which was brilliant. And then obviously, look, you win your first game in the new setup against Cork City, and which was brilliant. But what was really impressive was the aftermath of the DLR Waves game. Look, we lost 5-0 to a very good side. But we do feel within our own group that we let ourselves down in terms of our work ethic, and it would have been not easy to go, right, maybe the new formation was just a one-off game. But look, again, I can't speak high enough to the players and their maturity levels. You know, they spoke up and they accepted that, you know, that they needed to do more on the pitch rather than change setup again. And so we trusted them on their word, and we worked hard the week leading up to Bows, and I thought against Bohemians we were fantastic. Like, so no, the players have been our massive reason why, you know, we're on this bit of a run.
Yeah, good stuff. And was the defense something you worked on as well? Because it's just been improving week on week since those wins have started coming in. Was the defense something you worked on in training yourself, or did you take a look at it? Or obviously,
Yeah, no, yeah, look, 100%, Joe. Look, again, results don't lie. The table doesn't lie in terms of goals conceded.
yeah,
You know, like you know, after the first round of games, we conceded 35 goals. It's not ideal. But look, again, you know, we had to reflect as a staff first of all. Like, you know, I said to you a while ago, Joe, where we create an environment where we are exposing the players straight away within the opening halves of games with how we wanted to play. So we had to look at that ourselves. So we obviously changed our approach in how we build up. But then what was very good was there was, for over a month, we had the defensive unit come in early twice a week. So we trained 3 nights a week. So 2 of the nights, the defensive unit players were coming in 45 minutes beforehand, and we were just going through shape work, individual work, little triggers. And, you know, like, it was always going to take time. But I think, as you said, Joe, in the last 3 games, we've seen an improvement in the defending, like, obviously minus the DLR game, but the 2 games we've won, we've been defensively very good. And I don't think in either of the games the opposition have actually played through us they've either had to go around us or play along over us, and that speaks volumes to the players' attitude towards it.
Yeah, good to hear. What's the reception been like around Limerick since the results have been there's been an uptake in the results? What's the reception been like?
Yeah, the reception's been very good. But I have to credit the club and the board, first of all. Like, even when results weren't going great, in the first phase, the board were the first to be in contact with myself and make, just reassure and myself and the staff that they believe in us and they believe in the long-term project, which is always reassuring to hear as a manager, when results aren't going great. But there's always been that belief within the group that we would turn it around. And like, obviously with wins breeds more energy, more positive energy, and as a whole, like, obviously the reception has been excellent. But again, like, we, with the boards back and throughout the whole campaign, their energy has remained the same. But obviously from external factors, I suppose, the energy has been very positive.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And you play at Athlone on the 27th after a long break. Do you think the long break has come at a good time for you? Just take a step back from it and look at the season so far.
Yeah, look, I do. Like, look at Athlone Town they play one or two. They play in two formations. So I suppose with the added break, it's given us probably more time than usual to prepare and break down how they set up in both formations. So it's been a positive in that. Obviously a number of our players are sitting their leaving cert, so it's good for them that they can focus on their leaving cert exams and not try and balance in both, because education is number one for every player. And even ourselves as staff, it's given us an opportunity to reflect on the first 9 games of the season. We've watched every game back, and we're now the process is like, right, how can we be better now for the second phase? Like, we've only played one game in phase 2, but we've won, and we've only conceded 1 goal, which is a big positive, because after the first game in phase 1, we conceded 6. So, we're taking the positives on it, but we very much know that there's a lot of hard work still to be done. But again, like, the players are willing to put in the hard work, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Good to hear. And you might even catch a few Euros games during the break. So,
yeah, I've been fortunate enough now that look, we gave them the weekend off, so I was able to watch all the games. Obviously missed a few games yesterday, but look, I'd rather be on the pitch with the players anyway, especially with Ireland not in it anyway. So
yeah. Who do you fancy for it anyway, the Euros?
I don't know how a lot of people take this, but look, I'll be supporting England during it. But no, after the first round of games, look, I know we've Portugal, France, Germany, and Hungary are all playing each other today, but I think Italy are probably the standout team of the first round of games. Look, they're on an impressive run of games as it is. I think they're unbeaten in 20 plus games. I don't think they've conceded in their last 13 games now, which includes the Turkey game. I don't know, just when you watch the Italian national team, you nearly feel Italian yourself with the passion they show. And look, Italy look very good, but it's only game 1. Like, how about yourself, Joe?
Sure, yeah, I'll be going for England too, because my dad's English too, so I'll be going for England. But they look good. They do look good. I think Belgium could have a chance too, maybe.
Yeah, they did well, because they didn't have Hazard or De Bruyne in the team, and they made Russia look very ordinary. So it's going to be interesting anyway. I think this is the beauty about the Euros, probably more than the World Cup. There's more, the quality games are better from the very first round, so that's going to be good to watch anyway.
Yeah, anyway, we'll leave it there. That's all for now. Thanks for the chat. It's been a pleasure, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
You're welcome, Joe. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you, and look, thanks very much. It means a lot.